Washington Representative Pramila Jayapal introduced a bill aimed at enacting oversight on the detention of immigrants. Jayapal says more than 66,000 people have been detained and 23 people have died in ICE custody since President Trump's second term began. She says 73% of detainees have no criminal convictions.
We are here because every day we are seeing this expanding immigrant incarceration system, and we are abuses of Americans and people in our country across every single state as people are kidnapped and disappeared and put into the largest for-profit incarceration system in our country.
The act would repeal mandatory detention and prohibit the detention of families and children. It would also phase out the use of private detention facilities.
And it's over, and it's because of you guys.
If you or someone you love has been unlawfully detained, call us. We will help. Over the course,
I did everything the way that I thought I was supposed to do in order to plan for a sustainable retirement. But boy, over the past several months, I have watched the cost of everyday items, groceries, household goods, dog food, just continue to increase.
This is us getting our justice for a moment, just a brief moment in time. We get to have our say, we get to have our voice, and we get to say it all across the country, all across the world, through the vessel of the Jeffrey Epstein victims. And I can't think of anything more important to me as a woman who has been working as a survivor and working with other survivors. This is historic for all of us.
I know. We are here because every day we are seeing this expanding immigrant incarceration system, and we are abuses of Americans and people in our country across every single state as people are kidnapped and disappeared and put into the largest for-profit incarceration system in our country.
The act.
Of course. Well,
like getting emotional. This is a big step towards kind of the public service pathway I want to be in when I'm older.
We don't want our party to end up like the Democratic Party, where they allowed these pernicious ideas to enter their party. They used to be liberal, but they weren't insane. And now you just talked about people like Jasmine Crockett. They're lunatics, and we don't want the same thing to happen to our party. That's why.
From power. This is a regime change operation. This is a war by any other name. But then the second thing is, are we really trying to reduce drug trafficking in the U.S.? Is blowing up a few dozen boats in the Caribbean going to have that impact? I don't know of any sensible person who understands this issue who says yes. This is that led to World War I and World War II, which basically said powerful nations are free to dominate their region as they see fit, not based on the rule of law.
Had they acted, the trauma and victimization of hundreds of girls and women that came after 1996 at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and their co-conspirators could have been avoided. So we